Welcome back to my channel. This is part 2 of our chicken coop. So quite a few things have changed since my last video. My husband got off work and decided to start building it more and forgot to record. So these are things that have transpired since part 1, our first video.
Alright, only things we've really done, I got our, come on in here. I got our center beams done, and what I did was for the 2 6x6s on the top up here, that's what the makeshift trusses are going to be. And that one's just going to be like this board here coming up, and it's going to rest on it there, and it's screwed to it. It's going to rest out here and screwed down. And I got a little board on top attaching those together, and then we got the board here in the center. But these 2 outside boards here are holding up the 2 6x6s up on top there. And those go clear down to the floor, so it'll be pretty good.
And that's a makeshift 6x6.
No, those are 2x6s.
Right.
Ow. These are not, did I say this was a 6x6?
Well, it's like a makeshift. It's like a 6x6.
Yeah, I'm not even sure what it is. 3 2x4s put together.
So pretty much all we're using is 2x4s.
Yeah, pretty much. Really, other than that, I framed in for a door. I framed in for a door here. I put a little door stop here on the bottom on the floor. I got all the braces. Everything's tied together here. This board comes down, ties to the floor, ties to the truss, and it's tied together right here to the wall, to this piece.
And that was originally cut from the first video, so that was lengthwise.
Yeah, this originally was spanned the whole way across to the other side. And then, we still have our corner brace here coming down to the floor. So this is the door. I just put the first hinge on here. And then for the window, pretty much the same thing. I just took the measurements. This window's not going to open. It's going to be stationary. It's just screwed in here just to let light in. Right here is our original board. This one's nothing. Same thing. It used to come the whole way across. That's pretty much it. The same corner bracing. This brace here just comes up, attaches the trusses to this piece. It just attaches everything together. It keeps everything sturdy. I mean, this is a little not shaky right now end to end, but we don't have really no strength end to end right now. But I mean, side to side, I mean, you're not gonna do nothing with this.
And this was the door we decided to use that we found along with the other building materials in an old barn.
So when we're done, you'll see right here
Same with
I have
that
another
window.
board coming up like this. And this will be the doorway for the chickens and turkeys to walk in and out. I'm not sure how big we're making it. We might make it something like this and maybe close the top down a little bit. But that's where that's going to be. So yeah, that's pretty much it. We're going to hang this door right now that we got here. This used to be a full-size door, but for how I was building it here with the trusses coming at the angle, I had to cut some off the bottom. So the door is 5.5 feet tall. So right here's what I cut off the bottom of the door. But it's going to be blocked up off the ground.
So here's the door. Both hinges on, door cut to size. Today, we are working on putting the trusses up. So again, we're using recycled 2x4s, and then Dan just measured them from the top.
Each one of these is 6 feet long, and then they'll be attached together at the top. We'll put a brace across right underneath the main beam to tie them back together. And of course the bottoms, once we get done, there'll be a board running along the bottom here to tie everything in as well. We're just not there yet. Alright, now that all of our makeshift trusses are up, and then we've got they're attached to the main beam at the top with a little piece tied them together, then plus nailed to the main beam coming across. Then we got each one has a brace coming across, tying them in and getting together. So our next step is going to be, we're going to take some small pieces and we're going to put up on each one, and to screw, screw each piece to each truss to each side of the coop here. Now we'll tie everything together and keep everything sturdy. You see, we took our diagonal brace off because that's no longer needed off each side, and we won't have one on once we get everything tied together. So that's our next step, is to get a bunch of small pieces.
Now you'll notice all of our trusses are on, and we're moving on to the next stage, which is putting siding and roofing. So we originally were going to just use plywood for our siding, and we decided to use, we had some old sheet metal that was laying around, so we decided to use that as our siding. We actually use this on our bigger chicken pens, and it actually works really, really good. So Dan is using a grinding wheel to cut them to sides on the sides, and then he's using self-tapping screws to connect them to the beams.